Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, today we're going to be talking about the one and only Jasmy. Now, look, last time I made a video, there was a lot of support for this coin. People are saying, please do more. Please upload this coin more consistently. And you know what? It's been probably a week or two, but you know what? We're here with another Jasmy update. And if you guys are part of the Jasmy family and you do want that, so make sure to like and subscribe because you know what? Whichever community supports their coin the most is the coin I'm going to be covering the most, right? You guys can see on this channel, people love Zbek, people love Turbo, so those get pretty much posted every single day. And then the other coins get posted 5 to 7 times a week as well. But if Jasmy is going to be up there with the support, I mean, we can slot in Jasmy every single day. But I'm just letting you guys know, if we do that, then of course, don't expect the biggest of biggest updates because only so much can happen in 24 hours. But at least you guys will have a peace of mind, right? You'll understand the structure a little bit more. You'll understand that, hey, now we should expect pumps. Now we should expect a little bit of a pullback. Now we should kind of expect sideways movement. You know, all of that, right? All of that. So just letting you guys know right away. Anyways, let's just jump right into it. Let's go back just for a second. Jasmy, it was looking good. It was consolidating for pretty much a year, right? A year and a little bit, almost a year and a half before it had a big explosion. And that's what I want to show you guys, right? Look, it takes time to build explosions up, okay? But when they start accelerating, they are going to accelerate a lot. I expect the markets overall to be speeding up a lot for the next couple of weeks, right? Let's just say upwards of the next 6 months. I expect any progress that would take normally, let's say a couple of years, to be done within a few short months. Anything within a couple months to be done within a few short weeks. I overall expect the markets to really be speeding up. I overall expect there to be more money in the markets, and I'll show you the charts that support this. Anyways, look, right, we had a nice rally. Then we pretty much peaked in the beginning of June until we then had our second peak in December, right? Pretty much had our second peak in December, and we can kind of see that we created this type of trend line. Now, you don't have to live and die by it, but this may be a checkpoint in the future as crypto does love trend lines. Like trend lines in general are fairly solid, but when it comes to crypto, they love them. Okay, they love them. And then, yeah, we can see, like I said, we had a sell-off period, then we had this top, but then we went below this zone over here, right? We went below this massive, massive support, and you could actually see that, pretty much for the first time in a while, we closed very, very high, right? We closed roughly just below 2 cents, which is fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. We can see when we made the first attempt to pretty much reclaim this area, we failed and we sold off, sold off, sold off. And then now we have another attempt. And I believe this time around we will hold. Okay. We can see that Jasmy created a order block over here. We tapped into it. Everything was looking good. And then you can see that we were consistently creating higher and higher lows. We have a low over here. We have a higher low over here on the weekly. And then we have another higher low. Something I just remembered was, when I did make this video, which was roughly, like I said, some time ago, roughly a week ago, people are saying, nah, this coin is done for. This coin is this is that. And look what happened, right? Look what happened. Within a week, we went up a very, very nice amount. We went from here to at one point here, 33% in a week, right? That is very solid considering the context we're in right now. We're not in the context of looking to explode 24/7. We're in the context of looking to recover and to pretty much prepare for the next big explosion. So this is really, really good, right? This is really good. We want slower pumps in general. We want to be more fundamental, and we can see we have, right? Every time we kind of went up, even just a decent amount, right? 17%, we automatically kind of got corrected slowly. And then we were just kind of climbing slowly, right? We had a high, we had a low, we had a higher high, higher low, and we're just kind of consistently going up very, very nicely. Now, I do probably expect a little bit of a pullback to over here, like 1.8 cents, just because it would be very, very fundamental. And like I said, Jasmy has been moving very, very fundamental. And not only that, but it would be on top of this last relevant 4 hour support, plus, of course, on top of the big support. You can see we have 2 support points here, boom and boom, right? And we have a little bit of imbalance right over here. So if we just went down, just a couple percent in the short term, this can all be done within a day, by the way, 7% go sideways and then go up, it would not surprise me. Okay. But it would be a good dollar cost average opportunity. It is not too late to be getting into this project. I know some people think, oh, if it gets to 5 cents, I'll be grateful. If it goes to 10 cents, it's a miracle. But ladies and gentlemen, right, I do believe Jasmy is going to go much higher than that, in my personal opinion. But look, once we do complete this zone, right? Once we are in this zone and we do, complete the official support, it is going to look really, really good. On the monthly, right? It is also looking fantastic. We have this low over here, and then we have this nice higher low over here. Boom. And what we're looking for is simply just to close above 1.6 cents, right? If July ended this way, this would be fairly good because we would be above the biggest support, right? The biggest resistance flipping into support because we closed above it. And that is what we want to see. Overall, I expect a lot of progress with Jasmy over the next few short months. I'm personally high on the coin. I know some people are 50-50, but every coin I covers, there's always some people that are kind of 50-50. So it just seems to be the nature of the crypto markets, right? People are skeptical about this coin, or they're just simply just hating, right? But look, ladies and gentlemen, the next thing that's going to be pretty much relevant is this support and resistance over here at roughly 3.3 cents. Once we get to there, then we're most likely going to go all the way up to pretty much 6 cents. And once we get to 6 cents, that is when I expect some type of sweep, probably sideways movement to then really prepare our rally, right? When we go look at Jasmy, go write it in here very quickly. Boom, right? We are rank 87, right? So despite what you think about this coin, this is respectable. Being the 87th best coin in the world, well, I get it. Just because you're rank 87 doesn't mean you're literally best rank 87. I get it, but just you're still in the top 100, right? You are still in the top 100. And we can see we're at 1 billion market cap, 144 million volume, listed on so many big exchanges, which is what we love to see. 87% bullish sentiment. And if we go, we could see the holders in just 1 second. As that loads, let's look at, we are already at the all-time market cap, right? We can see, right, back in 2021, it was at 1 billion. Here it was 3 billion. So, I expect a decent rally. People think 10 billion is kind of crazy for this coin. I don't think 10 billion is crazy. I don't think 20 cents is crazy. I don't think getting to 15 billion market cap for this coin is crazy. Especially, they got to understand money rotates. There's going to be a lot more money, and money is going to rotate. Look, we are almost at 95,000 holders. We're at 94,540. So we'll continue to monitor this. We'll see how fast we are growing. Usually there's some type of chart, but I guess there's no chart for Jasmy. Look, ladies and gentlemen, this is the total market cap in crypto. I expect this to overall be really expanding over the next, like I said, upwards of 6 months. And guys, a lot more money is gonna be in the markets. Coins hitting 10, 15, 20, 25 billion market cap is gonna be like the new normal. A lot of coins are gonna go to 35 to 40 billion market cap. You have to understand also, there's gonna be so much money on top of what we had last cycle, and it's going to rotate. So it's a double positive. And for the people who are saying, oh, there's so many new cryptos, blah, blah, blah. Well, there's only like an additional 300 plus official cryptos that are like legit, okay, that are like listed and stuff. So, the ratios favor us heavily, okay? But yeah, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy. I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.